Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Postage Stamp Quilt Sew Along. Today we're going to talk about choosing our pattern that we're going to use, as well as trying to let you know what supplies you're going to need according to which way you decide to do it. And I'm going to show you some examples in just a minute. So we're going to choose our approach. We're going to talk about different ways that you can go about doing this. It can be totally scrappy. It can be a little bit more coordinated. And we're going to let you know what you need so that you can start gathering your supplies. Next week, we'll actually get started, but I wanted to make sure that everybody was very clear on what you need and let you have a little bit of time to decide how you want to do it exactly. There's infinite number of layouts, and I encourage you to step out of your comfort zone and to do something creative. Try it and see how it works. If you don't like it, you can always change it. So we're just going to get rolling with this, and I'm so excited that y'all are joining me for this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's get started. First, we're going to decide what layout we want to use. Now, I'm going to show you a few examples here in just a minute of just random ones that I found on the internet. These are not mine, just give you that caveat. But I wanted to show you that there are different ways that you can do this. And I know that there are a few of you who are not super scrappy intimidates you, or scrappy does not appeal to you at all. Some of you love scrappy. I have a friend that says scrappy is happy. And so if you are about using up your scraps, go for it. I encourage you to do that, but I also encourage you to get a little bit creative with it. There's a way you can be a little bit more organized and strategic and use up your scraps. And then there are some of you that have no desire to be scrappy at all. You want to be more coordinated, you want exact layouts, that kind of thing. That's totally fine too. And again, you can do a combination of both. I haven't quite decided exactly what I'm doing yet, but we're going to get there. So I'm going to add these to my thing for today. So the one on the left is a completely scrappy postage stamp quilt. It's just a bunch of random squares. It looks like they used mostly brights on this, maybe kids prints, something like that. You can mix your prints. It doesn't have to be. That's even still a little bit more coordinated than some. It doesn't have to be. I honestly have started this just completely scrappy, grabbing whatever I had around. The one on the right is still scrappy, but it looks like they've used maybe some batiks or something. It's a little less scrappy, and then every other square is consistent. In this case, it is white. You could go with black. You could go with another color if you wanted to. That kind of helps tie it all together. It's not, honestly, that one's a little bit easier on your eyes, but it's totally up to you what you want to do. So the next two, we're going to give you options. So this one here on the left, they've used the same concept as the one before with the white, but they've done it in blocks, and each block has a different accent color. So they've done pink, blue, darker pink, yellow. You can totally do that. I would probably recommend getting a fat quarter of each color for each block. I don't think it'll take that much. One fat quarter may do multiple blocks, but if you're going to do a little bit more coordinated like that, then I encourage you to maybe grab a fat quarter of different colors. You can use solids, blenders, but you want something that's going to read more of a solid. So in order to get that effect, I like that one. But I think I like the white one better, but that's my personal opinion. Everybody can do whatever they want to do. The one on the right, each square, each block, they've got a whole block of the postage stamp squares. And then next to it is a white or a solid color. That is totally doable as well. It's going to use up a ton of your scraps, and you're going to be able to do that with the solid in between it. So it's still a little bit more coordinated, but it's not every other square being the solid color. Let me get to the last one. So the one on the left here, they've done the scrappy blocks. Those are look like 9 patches. I'm going to show you with the grid. You can make these 9 patches, 4 patches, however big you want to make them. So the grid is very, very flexible. So that one, they just did that, and they did sashing, and you can totally do that as well. When you get your things, the grid sewn together, you can, when you get them all on the grid, I'll show you how you can cut them apart and make them whatever size blocks that you want to make them. So that one is also a very good option. I like the one on the right. It is super, super scrappy and random. And it's almost, I don't want to call it chaotic, but it's almost a little chaotic in the center. And then I love how they added that border onto it using the stars. You can totally make that entire border with the grid. The key is you have to make the half square triangles for the points ahead of time and then put them on your grid. But we'll go over all of that if that's what you choose to do. We're going to do a step-by-step of exactly how to use this grid. So, can you make this without the grid? Absolutely. So, if you want to sew one square to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, go for it. You do you. But for our intents and purposes, I'm going to show you how to use the grid because it's going to make it so much easier. So, the first thing, again, you're going to need to decide which approach you're going to take. Are you going to do it completely scrappy? Are you going to do it every other square is the same color? Or what do you want to do? So I encourage you to look up postage stamp quilts online and look at the pictures and get some inspiration and then twist it and make it yours. So, but that can give you a good start off point for your project. The next thing that you're going to do is decide what size grid you want to use. So I read somewhere that traditionally they are 2-inch squares and then they finish at 1.5. I have 4 sizes of grid. I have the 2.5 inch all the way down that finishes at 2 inch, all the way down to 1 inch that finishes at 1/2. When you go online to order, I've got them all in the little drop down menu, and then you can order however many panels you want. I will tell you, they come in singles, a pack of 6, or a pack of 20. The more you order at one time, the cheaper they are. They're not super expensive anyway for the amount of time and effort it's going to save you. But I will tell you that if you order the bigger packs, they are a little bit cheaper. I recommend starting with at least 6, and you may want to do 20. I will say if I get low, I will order them immediately. As soon as I know I'm getting low, it takes a day or two for them to get here from Utah. But 10 Sisters has had some of the best customer service I've ever experienced. And it's just been really nice and refreshing, honestly. If I need anything, all I have to do is send them an email or call, and they are on top of it. They have been awesome. So anyway, but you're going to choose what size your grid you want and how big you're going to make it. I will try to post at some point. I know I posted it on Facebook and Instagram. So if you're on one of those, go look. I did post it a few days ago, the size chart. So how big you want to make your quilt and how many panels, depending on what size panel you choose, how many panels you need. So that information is available. If you need it, shoot me a message and I'll send it to you independently of that. Or if you don't have time or want to go back and look it up, I totally get it. I'll try to remember to post it again. But on some of the platforms, it's a little bit harder to do that. So after you choose what size you want to do it, you're going to need your basic sewing supplies. You're going to need cutting mat, ruler, your sewing machine, all that kind of stuff. Your basic sewing supplies, of course. But then you're going to need your fabric. And depending on what approach you're going to take, that determines what fabric you need. If you want to go completely scrappy, then pull out your bin of whatever. And then if you want a little bit more coordinated, like I said, you may want to grab, if you want to do each block has a different accent color, then go with, pull out some solid or blender fat quarters that you can use. And then if you know you're going to want sashing, then I would get a couple of yards of sashing, depending on what you decide to do. If you need help figuring out the math, I'm happy to help you do that. So just shoot me a message and we'll have a conversation about what you're trying to do. And I can give you an idea of how much fabric you need to order or have on hand. So that's going to determine, that'll determine what fabrics you need and how much. If you're going completely scrappy, then just, again, pull out your bin and go for it. I will say that these little mini charms work great. If you're going to use a 2.5 inch grid, they will finish up at 2 inch. I don't buy these. Moda sends them to me in every couple of months with our new catalog. So like these are not even out yet. I just got these the other day, but I have several other ones also. I was going to do the 2 inch with a 1.5 inch finished, but I'm really kind of considering doing the 2.5 inch and using all of these that I get, because I think it would be fun to have one that's all basically free fabric that I got. So, and kind of, what Moda is showcasing and that kind of thing. So I don't know. I haven't decided for sure yet. But if you wanted to go that route, or if you have some and you don't know what to do with them, this is a great way to use them up. If you're going to use smaller than 2.5 inch grid, then you're going to have to trim them down. If you're willing to do that, go for it. I don't know that I am. I got a lot going on right now. So the other thing that I highly recommend is a glue stick. I do have these 505. This is a temporary glue stick. It is just like the 505 spray. It is just in glue stick form. Now, once you iron this, it is permanent. So, but this is going to let you attach them and give you time to move things around if you want to move them around. So it does start off purple. It clears dry. It dries clear, y'all. Words are hard today. So this is what I really recommend that you use, because this is made for fabric. Now, can you use school glue? Yes. Have I done it? Yes. The caveat with that is going to be light colored fabrics. I have not tested it with this. I need to, but I know with this one, I was kind of playing with things. I was using it on something else. I don't remember what it was now. Using it on something. Light colored fabrics. If I ironed it too quickly, this did not turn clear. And you can see the purple glue through the light colored fabric. So this is supposed to dry clear. This is just regular Elmer's school glue. If you can find them that are already clear, I would do that rather than these. If you let these dry and you iron them, it may be better, but I recommend that you test it. Again, these are not really, I know a lot of people use these and that's great. I don't have a problem with you using these. If you're going to use these on, like some people use them to glue down their binding before they stitch it down, especially on the machine. If you're going to do that, make sure you iron it first. The heat from the iron sets the glue, and it also makes it not sticky so that it won't stick to your needle. That goes with any kind of glue. If you're having problems with the adhesive sticking to your needle, iron it if you can, and that solidifies it and keeps it from sticking to your needle. Why? I don't know the science behind it. It's supposed to work. And I've done it a couple of times and I haven't had any issues with it. So I really kind of recommend maybe one of these, and you just need a dab. And I've already started on this one. You're just going to dab it. I just kind of dab and twist. You just need the smallest dot because you want to glue these on. This has not been pressed yet. These are just glued on right now. And I'm able to kind of go through and place them how I want them and make sure that I don't have too many of the same color together and whatnot. This is one that I just started a few weeks ago. I haven't had time to kind of continue working on it. This was my original plan, which is completely scrappy, and fill up the whole panel and then get another panel, fill up that whole panel and go on. But now I'm kind of rethinking. I really think I want to use, I have, again, multiple of these. And so I think I want to switch up my plan, but we'll see what ends up happening. I may do some of both. So that is the supply list, the things that I know you are going to need. And again, the amount of fabric you need depends on what your strategy is going to be, how coordinated, how scrappy, whatever. This is a great way to use it for scraps. This is a great thing because you can cut sometimes watching TV, depending on what your setup is. You can, once the squares are all cut, you can glue them on. Just put something, nonstick or something that underneath it, either a cutting mat or something like that that you don't care about. Maybe you've got a little glue on it. You could clean it off because the glue will kind of go through this interfacing a little bit. But I just make sure there's something underneath it that I don't care, even if it's a piece of paper or something. But you can see on the back of this, they did all dry clear. So that glue is just a little trick to help it hold it in place until we actually are ready to press it down. So this week, your job and your homework is to gather all of your supplies. Decide what approach you're taking and gather your supplies. Next week, we're actually going to get started. So if you need to order a grid, the sooner the better so that I can get it out. I will tell you right now, it is packed up. If you're watching this after October 1st, then it won't make a difference. But if you're going to join us this week, then I need to know as soon as possible because it is packed up for my last show this weekend. I will get it out to you as soon as possible. But if you can place your order by tomorrow, by Wednesday, that would be great so that I can go ahead and pull it out of the tub and get it in the mail to you because I will be leaving Thursday morning to go to our last show. And otherwise it's going to be till Monday and you're going to be a little bit behind. So it usually takes a couple of days for my packages to get to wherever they're going. So just kind of factor that in. I think that was all that I had for y'all today because, again, we're just deciding our approach and gathering our supplies. So if you need something, if you need help figuring something out or anything like that, shoot me a message. Aunt Ree's Quilt Shop at gmail.com is my email address. You can DM me on Facebook, Instagram, comment under the video on any of the other platforms, and I will, or on any of the platforms actually, and I will get back with you just as soon as I can and get your questions answered. And don't feel bad about asking questions because somebody else has probably got the same question. So y'all have a great week. Start gathering your stuff, and this one's going to be fun. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.